Joining me right now is Pennsylvania Congressman Fred Keller. He's on the Oversight and Education and Labor Committees. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. Do you think somebody wrote that for President Biden for him to say zero inflation? Where did he get zero inflation?
Well, I don't know where they're getting it. They're certainly not. He probably feels that because he's not the one that has to go out and do the shopping, quite frankly. And inflation has not been this high since I've been in high school. And, American families are struggling. And for him to come out and the administration to try and pretend that 1 month where inflation didn't get quite as high as the high point during their administration, that's not a pattern. That's a pattern of failure, actually, if you want to look at it.
Yeah. Mark Tepper, he's looking at month over month, I guess, saying that there wasn't a major change because of the decline in energy prices, Mark Tepper. But food prices continue to rise. I mean, once again, it's misleading the American people.
And he's hoping that we're stupid and that we don't actually look under the surface to see what the report really said. Because if you look under the surface, 3 of the 4 most important items to every single household in America accelerated month over month and year over year. And I'm talking about wages, housing, and food. All of those accelerated, and all of those are sticky components of inflation, which means that we are going to experience high inflation for longer. Now, the 4th component, it's great that energy prices came down, but who really cares about used cars coming down? I mean, how often do you buy a used car? Once every 5, 7, 10 years? And airfares came down. Well, maybe that's because demand is waning. So I don't know why they're celebrating this. I'd love to hear the congressman's perspective on some of the items I just mentioned, because for the American consumer, for households, it doesn't feel like inflation's letting up at all.
No, it doesn't. And quite frankly, you hit the nail on the head. It's the things that people are buying every day. The people who are spending more for groceries, are spending more for gas, aren't flying. They aren't buying more vehicles. So when you look at what's happening, they can try and celebrate gas prices. I heard them say the gas is at $4 a gallon. Well, when Biden took office, it was about $2.30 a gallon. So if they're trying to say what they've done has been working, it's the equivalent of them lighting your back porch on fire, coming around, knocking on your front door, selling you a fire extinguisher, and expecting us to thank them. And quite frankly, their policies aren't working. And the bill we're about to vote on tomorrow is going to make it worse.
Well, let's talk about that bill, because as part of that bill, the IRS is going to be getting much bigger. There's a big stir about this on social media because Congress is about to massively expand the IRS. And I wonder if you can tell us the number of border agents that there are, since we are now looking at this administration wanting to hire 87,000 new IRS agents. And then there's this job posting for an IRS special agent. Look at this job posting. A job posting for this, quote, criminal investigation special agents included major duties that involve, quote, carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. A link to this job appeared to be briefly deleted yesterday following the criticism, but it came back online after a Fox Business inquiry to the IRS. Congressman, what do they do? They want IRS agents to carry guns now and use deadly force?
Evidently, they want the government to have guns and the people not to have guns. That's really their goal. And when you look at this and see what they want to do, I wonder why they have so much contempt for the American people that they don't trust the people that have elected them to run our government. I trust the people I represent. They're good people, and they don't need 87,000 more government bureaucrats pawing through their financials.
Yeah, Congressman, I'm just looking at this from the numbers I have at the border, 2019. There were 19,348 border agents in 2019. It's way down today. Obviously, some border agents have resigned over the upset over the southern border. But this White House wants to hire 87,000 IRS agents. So we've got 87,000 IRS agents coming on top of the thousands that are already in place versus 19,000 border agents protecting this country.
Well, it seems like they care more about making American citizens criminals through their bureaucracy and so forth, and allowing illegal people to come into our country. I think they've got their priorities mixed up, and they're gonna realize that in a couple months.
Well, what are you going to do about it, sir?
Well, actually, what we need to do, first off, make sure that everybody understands how bad this bill is, why we're voting against it, and make sure that they understand that we need to take back the majority in Congress to stop this administration. The fact that they want to come after American people, and they want to come after people that are earning less than $400,000. If they didn't want to, they would not have voted down the amendment that said they couldn't use this to come after people earning under $400,000. Along party lines, the Democrats voted that amendment down. The Republicans didn't want them going after it. We need control of both the Senate and the House. And then you're going to see what's going to happen to hold this administration accountable.
Yeah, it's a good point when you look at the amendments that they voted down. Even the Portman amendment to try to keep China in check with intellectual property was removed as well. Congressman, it's good to see you. We'll be watching that tomorrow, voting in the House. Fred Keller joining us this morning.